What's your badge number, by the way?
We stand for freedom, liberty, and the Constitution. We will combat all those who are corrupt. We are America's insurance policy. We will not see our republic fall. We are everywhere. We are the 3%. While that motto energizes me to the fullest and truly is one of my favorites, it's way more than just your run-of-the-mill motto. That is a key motto among a band of brothers that I became a part of back in 2017 called the 3 Percenters. I guess from an unofficial standpoint, I became part of them back in 2008 when I took an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I would bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and that I would obey the orders of the President of the United States. But hey, who's counting time? Especially at a time where there's more of it than we know what to do with in light of this latest pandemic, the coronavirus. If anything, even somewhat positive came from the government intervening with businesses and with the issuances of stay-at-home orders. It was that it gave me some time to move forward on preparing everything to come forward with my story from 2017. When anyone is backed far enough into the corner, to a point of not having any perceivable breathing room, instilled human instinct is to fight back. That proverbial last straw that was hanging by a thread broke not so long ago when for the third time in 3 years, my almost 6-year-old daughter was used as a chess piece against me in a staged war of the courts by her mother, who in my opinion should have been committed to a mental asylum many years ago. But that's a different story for a different day. This is about justice, but not just for me. Because at the end of the day, no matter how cut and dry the evidence is that I was framed by a ridiculously corrupt local government, taken over by some of the most heartless, careless, and quite frankly dangerous people when banded together the way they did back in 2017. I say that with 100% full confidence. And while some may not side with me, we all know the extent the Democrat Party will go in order to ensure a win. So be it if morals and decency get completely tossed away. We've seen example after example of it over the last 5 years. So my story, when all laid out, should not come as a complete and total shock to most, although the particular details of everything are absolutely disgusting. And as such, these people should absolutely be brought to justice. And I would hope that after hearing the details, the FBI would conduct a non-biased, thorough investigation into the facts of everything in order to do just that. It was not long after President Trump took office and all the proof had surfaced in regards to the extreme corruption shown by the Democrats to obstruct and break any law and moral code they needed in order to accomplish their set-out agenda. There were many people that thought I was crazy for taking the counter stance that I took, standing up for conservative values, but ultimately for standing up for our constitutional rights and those rights which make us the constitutional republic that we are. I never had an issue standing up and speaking my mind on any issue. And while I may have disagreed myself with the views of others, I always believed they had a right to voice their opinions. There were many loudmouth liberals that called me every name under the sun, even threatened. My own family was confused as to why I so adamantly held firm on my beliefs and wasn't afraid to walk into a lion's den of those who had a different opinion, and a big chunk of them sharing similar opinions of others in the room, being that they didn't want me there and they wanted me silenced. That leads on to one of my favorite quotes by a man named Steve Jobs, founder of a company called Apple. While Steve and I probably came from two completely different sides of the political spectrum, I can find vast amounts of appreciation in his key quote, which reads as follows. Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs in the square hole, the ones who see things differently. They're not quite fond of rules. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them, but the only thing you can't do is ignore them, because they change things. They push the human race forward, and while some may see them as the crazy ones, we see genius, because the ones who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. I would say that I've always been patriotic to the core, and that dedication and true patriotism peaked in me for the first time when I enlisted into the United States Marine Corps back in December of 2007. It would peak again at an even higher level, just shy of a decade later, when our Constitution and the very things I believed in and took an oath to defend came under siege. And all in about a month's time, my rights were laid siege to, and all of it ushered in by a well-formed group of co-conspirators and obstructionists, which are two fancy and lengthy names for the types of disgusting, low-life criminals these people truly are. See, I was framed on a crime I did not commit. I was framed on a crime I could not possibly have committed. I was presumed guilty until proven innocent. And due process under color of law, and that which all citizens are to be afforded under the United States Constitution, was never given to me. The only thing these animals had going in their favor was fear-mongering and coercion tactics, the left-wing media propaganda, and the assumed power given to them under their appointed authorities. The craziest part is that all but maybe one or two still hold their same appointed or elected positions to this day. But with most of America fed up with scandals such as this atrocity, the time is now for true justice to be rendered, and for me to clear my name in an attempt to get my life back, my rights back, and to truly walk from that city and county knowing that it wasn't for nothing, and that justice was served by a non-biased and fair judicial system that respects and preserves due process and isn't out for a tacky decimation of another's rights and life for political purposes and social gain.
It's Matt Reardon, the Oxford Outlaw. When freedom is outlawed, only the outlaws will be free.
Behind something that you should know is wrong, it's something that's not even taken seriously.
In today's episode, I'm going to discuss several key topics which are extremely alarming to me. They should be alarming to many of you, and topics that 100% deserve a fully truthful and transparent answer. Today I'm going to edge right into my story, tell you more about me, more about this project, more about the city of Oxford and Lafayette County, for the sole purpose of you having a better, more educated perception and opinion of the magnitude of everything. As I said in the first episode, my goal here is to provide facts, but it's also to seek answers, to get a better understanding myself of why everything happened the way it did, to track the transformations and transfer of power throughout that city and county, and to expose corruption as it's found in order to hold those in power responsible. I'll discuss and provide clips of recent interaction with law enforcement agencies who are derelicting their absolute duties that the citizens pay them to do through way of their paychecks. That is, of course, if they're still getting a paycheck. But of course they are, because it's your money and your future on the line. There are things that have been going on that make zero sense. In essence, it's like they're taking the gun paid for by you, the citizen, and turning the gun around on the citizens themselves with intent to harm. And harm they are, with examples like Army General Michael Flynn surfacing. The FBI investigating him without any formidable cause to do so. Even surveillancing him through illegal wiretap campaigns throughout the Obama administration, which Obama himself even knew about. Then, after lying themselves in order to rig this sham investigation, they came to the charge that Michael Flynn lied to the FBI, the biggest liars of them all. They invoked fear in Michael Flynn by using his own son in order to make him plea out to a crime he never committed. One problem: the truth surfaced. They got caught. It's only so long that lies can carry before their rotten smell gives them away. You'll see strikingly similar characteristics of what happened to me 3 years ago, and how those very same tactics, left unchecked to fester and grow, spell disaster for our society, our rights, and the very freedoms we enjoy. And finally, a tribute to a man that took a stand and put it all on the line in the same place that I did. His name was Anthony Reardon, and just like I was, highly misunderstood. But one you'll never forget, along with the gigantic and courageous heart, which quickly shows when you get a closer in-depth knowledge of Anthony. We'll look at and discuss some of the very stands he took to help preserve and protect our constitutional rights as free citizens. We'll also look at his beliefs and concerns for society at the time, prior to him being run off the road and killed exactly 5 years ago while returning home to Oxford, Mississippi from a flag rally. I'm honored to call Anthony both my brother and my friend, one that I could always learn more from. And I'd like to dedicate this ride today to Anthony, and I believe he's with me right now so as to help keep me on the right path, doing the right thing, and not going astray. Being unwavering in my stance, our stance, and holding tight to our rights, I'll uncover and produce every shroud of evidence of corruption, specifically public corruption stemming from an official capacity that I possess currently and will obtain in the near future. I'm on a mission. I'm determined, and I'm unwavering. I have no problem doing the job that certain law enforcement agencies won't do, that attorneys won't help me with. I'll go it alone. I figured out not too long ago that this was likely going to be a modern-day David versus Goliath, and I'm too far in and committed to turn back now. After all, this is my life and my rights. I can't and won't allow this to stand. It's time to right the wrong and settle the score. It's late in the fourth quarter. I'm on the 20-yard line, 6 points down. Are you ready to ride with the outlaw? For those who don't know, my name is Matt Reardon. This is my story, and you are riding with the outlaw. Stay tuned.
Good afternoon, U.S. Attorney's Office.
Yes, ma'am. I'm trying to figure out who I need to speak with. Who oversees y'all's department?
It's the Department of Justice, is that what you're asking?
Yes. Okay. Would I need to contact Jackson, or I'm trying to? I feel like y'all's main job is not being done at all. I mean, I'm a citizen of the state of Mississippi. I was framed in one of what I think is the largest public corruption scandal. It involves people in the local government in Oxford. I've been calling now for 2 weeks. I've been leaving messages. I got a call that I missed last Friday, and I left a message, a voicemail 2 days ago,
I don't know what could be more important. Like, in 2 weeks' time, not getting one phone call. Y'all are the U.S. Attorney's Office, and something this big, somebody should have reached out to me by now.
Okay, one moment. I'm unable to assist you in this situation because I'm not exactly sure what's going on. But I'm going to transfer you to someone who can hopefully help you.
I hope I can speak to somebody finally.
This is Robin. Sorry I'm away from my phone right now. If you leave a message, I will call you back as soon as possible. Thank you.
Robin, this is Matt Reardon. I left you a message 2-3 days ago now. I've been calling up there for about the past 2 weeks in regards to what I think is quite likely one of the largest public corruption scandals in the state of Mississippi. And I can't even get the U.S. Attorney's Office to give me a call back. It's a damn shame. So clearly I'm probably just going to have to go this route on my own. I take it that just not even getting a call back, the U.S. Attorney's Office is not interested in investigating this, much less hearing about it. So if you're in the office today, please give me a call back, 662-32. I gotta be honest with you, it really bothers me because the agency's tasked with protecting the American people through not even responding, do not even help, are hurting the American citizens. And I'd like to think that that's not what's going on up there. But 2 weeks' time, and I've stressed the importance of this, my time is running out. The statute of limitations is running out. Please give me a call, 662-32. Thank you.
All in all, it was the proven corrupt acts of our government branches and its complete abuses of power that caused me to lose trust and hope in our government. Lack of trust and faith in our government's alphabet agencies by ways of these agencies selectively enforcing the law, and even worse, persecuting innocent citizens based on political reasons. Politics has absolutely no place in law enforcement, and it definitely has no place in the courts. The courts should condemn this behavior. Sanctions and slap on the wrist are never enough when it comes to the rights of a citizen being trampled on at the hands of a public corruption scam. Public corruption, especially involving government officials working in an official capacity, warrant nothing shy, in my opinion, of capital punishment due to its absolute treasonous nature, not to mention the peace, dignity, and integrity of the state and our government that may never fully recover. The true criminals seemingly are never sought, and even more, never prosecuted. Instead, law-abiding citizens are accused of crimes they did not nor would not ever commit. They are pressured, and some are even threatened through targeting of others close to them. The threat of lengthy incarceration and the concern that every parent should have of both providing for and being there for their children. I didn't stand a chance on my own at the time everything happened, when you take into consideration all the different factors in one of the best thought out highly connected and tightly woven conspiracies that protected those involved, being that all three branches of local government, the executive, legislative, and even judicial, were involved, along with multiple attorneys and at least one federal three-letter alphabet agency, the FBI. It was local law enforcement that framed me. It was law enforcement on a federal level that stood by doing absolutely nothing at all, while all along having proof that I couldn't have possibly committed the crime in question. It was no different than a lifeguard whose sole job is to keep watch and to keep those swimming safe. What would you do? What would you think if you saw the lifeguard standing around with his hand in a cookie jar just watching a child drown? Especially if you were too far away to save the kid yourself. You'd feel as if the lifeguard caused the child to die by neglect from not acting. Anger, confusion, and untrusting of that lifeguard would be pretty fair emotions that most would exhibit. Would you allow your child to swim unattended under that lifeguard's watch? Or would that one incident cause you to permanently lose trust in that lifeguard? Even all lifeguards, for that matter. Now imagine being framed for something way out in left field. Imagine being treated like a prisoner at Guantanamo Bay,
every single one of you
being shackled at the wrist, waist, and ankles in an orange jumpsuit,
that is all it is.
and walked via 2 to 3 deputies out in the most public of spaces, and into the famous and ancient courthouse in the middle of the city where over the weeks prior you had so proudly stood, cherishing and showing public support for the very freedoms afforded to every citizen. The freedoms that now landed you in this very place, and done for 3 reasons in particular. One of them being a publicity stunt brought about through their all-out assassination of a private citizen's rights. Shockingly, that's not the worst. I'm directly holding the FBI and the U.S. Attorney's Office accountable for turning a blind eye and choosing to obstruct, in their own ways, my ability to properly seek vindication based on evidence. The local government will have to answer to several integrity questions posed, such as their so easily allowing banishment on a sentence, and also its protecting its dirty ways through methods such as covenants to not sue. I intend to prove that which I already know, the motive, the reasons for which, why I was the fall guy for this. My experiences are like something you'd read in a John Grisham novel. But this is not a John Grisham book. After all, nobody can write the book about me better than me, as it was me who lived my life and witnessed these atrocities. And after everything, it's changed me. It's hardened me. My fears have changed, feeling numb to the things that caused fear before. In fact, just about the only fear recirculating through me is fear of failure. Fear of them winning and getting away with everything at the expense of my liberties and happiness in life. Fortunately, however, it's made me more patriotic than ever to help prevent others and future generations from experiencing the same types of injustices. And that is what I have to look forward to. My mentality is in fact that of a sovereign citizen. I am independent and not relying on our government to survive, or to help me for that matter. And so long as these types of injustices continue to happen, I will stay that way, because I was independent in the wake and aftermath of a well-plotted combination of events that left me completely strained and feeling hopeless, both mentally and financially. It's the Outlaw, Matt Reardon. It's time to address something. Well, some things, and very major things, that I strongly believe to be an enormous threat to our society. Not the fabricated threat that this county wants to conjure up to any extent. I wish I didn't have to actually deliver this message. First off, while Lafayette County feels it's okay to not comply with the legal obligation to produce public records upon request, and fall back on a pathetic scapegoat excuse of it being because of riding with the outlaw and the publishing of my discoveries on my website, to also include the Oxford Outlaw Facebook page. Let me say this, it doesn't matter what I do with it. The fact is, it's a public record, and it holds high relevance to my case, which I've thoroughly stated. Not to mention the First Amendment is the cornerstone of our rights as citizens and can be attributed to the freedoms we have and enjoy today. Does Lafayette County feel that it has complete immunity protection through its sham and obnoxious coercion tactic, the covenant to not sue? Do they feel it gives them the right to not comply with a FOIA public records request, which has now been upgraded to a public records demand? And are the taxpayers of Lafayette County pleased with their leadership, that their tax dollars are going to undoubtedly be used fighting a legal battle that the county itself is deciding to open up through not complying, which undoubtedly will result in the information that was requested multiple times being court-ordered by a judge on a subpoena? What is it, or who is it, that they're trying to hide and shield from the public in this information that I'm requesting? Why is it that the FBI thinks they're high and mighty to the point of completely ignoring a FOIA request as well? For an investigative report called a 302, and won't even assign it a request number despite it being over a week past its allotted time to be produced, even with an expedite request put on it due to the statute of limitations expiring just 2.5 weeks from now. Maybe it's because something happened to my 302, which goes to proving my innocence beyond a shadow's doubt, beyond all reasonable doubt, as I've been led to believe on 2 different calls that they were unable to find it in their electronic database. The ironic thing is that they'd never lose a document such as that if it were something that would bar someone from being able to purchase a gun. When it comes to that, their database is completely intact. But it's all about a political agenda. If it points out flaws and negligence, or if it shows wrongdoing, they clearly deny and obstruct. The same 2 working tactics deployed by the Democrats for the better part of a century that will likely never cease to exist. Why has the U.S. Attorney's Office ignored every call and voicemail left over the last 5 to 6 weeks in regards to an absolutely sickening quid pro quo public corruption scandal, where my civil rights were absolutely slaughtered on a completely fake and bogus framed charge that the FBI just sat by doing nothing, despite holding proof of my innocence? Furthermore, why hasn't the United States Department of Justice stepped in to intervene for accountability and responsibility purposes, especially when all this is going on, and every agency tasked with preventing public corruption seems to be directly playing a part in it by turning a blind eye and trying to sweep it and even evidence under the table. It's outrageous. When I started on my discovery for this case, I felt that the system was weighted, clearly with some corruption. Over the past couple of months, I've witnessed a system that is far beyond that which I originally thought. It is clear to me now that our legal system, that I thought was just weighted, is in fact off tilt, on its side, and quickly spiraling out of control. Society as we knew it is quickly fading away, and our fundamental rights, values, and freedoms that both protected us and separated us from the rest of the world have eroded away. My story.
You know, I am audio and video recording, Mr. Pruitt.
I don't care. You have a permit to be here.
The First Amendment, actually.
You have a permit to be here.
No.
All right, you gotta leave.
Why is that?
Because you're going to jail if you don't.
I'm going to jail just
Yep.
for standing out here and
That's
holding
right.
the flag.
You demonstrate. You have to leave.
Okay, where does that
I'm gonna ask you one more time.
Can I just ask you? Can I ask you a question?
I'm going to ask you one more time to leave. If not, I'm going to carry you to jail for disorderly conduct.
Okay, I'll leave and take this straight to my attorney then. That's you can't threaten me with my First Amendment rights. Hey, I'm going to tell you right now,
It's
Mr.
count to
Pruitt.
three to leave. One.
This fucking city is ass fucking backwards. Ass fucking backwards. Y'all see that? Hey, what's your badge number, by the way, Deputy Pruitt? No, I'm not. I'm leaving. I was asking you. I was asking you. I was leaving. I was leaving. Hey, guys. Hey. Let me let you get an up close and personal view since you want to get me on video. Yeah. Good. How you doing? You want to get me on video? I'm not here to cause any problems. Actually, according to the order, while I was on supervised probation, I'm on banishment. It's on the order. It's on the order. It's on the order. I can pull it for you. It's on the order. Don't harass me. I'm not going to bother y'all. That's the best thing I can suggest. Y'all see how fucking crooked the damn police are down here? Was one of the ones in this corrupt scandal to banish me from the city of Oxford and make me sign a covenant to not sue, to just completely destroy my rights as a citizen, and to be here as a patriot to make sure that no vandalism, no violence goes on, especially while they stand by and watch. Not going to let it happen. Got sheriff's deputies. They're wanting to pull out their phone and video me like I'm causing problems. I'm out here just to make sure the peace is kept. It's my oath. Marine Corps veteran, patriot, 3%er. I want to show you the liberal hypocrisy. So here, I get arrested standing in front of the statue, being by myself, holding the state flag. Hey, y'all are lucky.
I got arrested standing in front of the statue to keep it. Why should the statue come down? Can somebody give me a good answer as to why the statue should come down? I'd love to know why the statue should come down. Okay. Do you not realize that people lost their lives? You do? Wait. Do you currently have anybody in your family that is alive today that was a slave? Have you personally experienced slavery? 1926. Okay, so he experienced slavery. See, that's what I'm talking about. Y'all have no good reason why you're out here. Y'all have no good reason why you're out here. Man, the hypocrisy, straight up hypocrisy of the left. Right outside City Hall, okay, in Oxford, I was standing in front of the statue, May 1st, 2017, standing there with the state flag of Mississippi. The state flag of Mississippi. This is the time that the statues came under attack. And I was arrested for not getting a permit from the city to stand there and protest. How are y'all? So, I drove around the square the other day, and there were several of y'all standing over there by the bleachers. I asked some questions. Nobody really had an answer. Y'all just went back to holding your sign. So I'm hoping somebody could... What is it? Give me an educated. Can you give me any good reason why this statue needs to be moved?
Well, I mean, we've talked to Confederates today, and they said the statue resembles their lost men and women.
Yeah.
Well, we have those too in other communities, and this one is a racial symbol of hate for a lot of people, and it perpetuates and justifies, and that's stuff that isn't fair for every American anymore.
Now, are you talking about every Confederate statue or just this one?
I mean, no, we don't want it. Okay, we also need to say that we don't want it torn down. It doesn't need to be destroyed. We understand a lot of people are scared that we're trying to break your history, and we're not. This is not appropriate.
There are women. I met a woman the other day, a black woman who worked in this building for all of us for 20 or 30 years, and there are black women who work up here and have to look out these windows every day at this statue. This statue says that it was for a just and holy cause, and it's insulting to our people to have to.
Our people? Who is our people?
The
every
country,
dang
the
one
United
of us.
States.
Every dang one of us.
Okay, but if you put this to a vote.
Wait, can I finish speaking?
But if you put this
Can
to
I
a
finish
vote,
speaking, please? I gave you a chance.
it would be shameful for
So
y'all.
you're not going to let me finish speaking?
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. These women, these people who work here and serve our town and our county have to look at this celebration of the slaughtering and oppression of her people, of their people, every time they come in here. And do we have any empathy for them? Do you have any empathy for them?
I mean, I know. Do you know completely what the Civil War was about? Because I can tell you right now, slavery was not the reason of the Civil War. I hate to tell you.
But it was a part of it.
Okay.
Part of it.
Yeah.
But it was also a part of the North. All right, it was a part of the North, the Union, just as much as it was a part of the Confederacy. There were blacks that fought voluntarily for the Confederacy, just like they fought voluntarily for the Union. So when you're taking away these statues, when you're trying to move these statues, you're looking at the real possibility of these things that have been around for 100, 110 years, okay, of them getting damaged just in moving. I mean, you can't just easily suggest moving.
But I mean, it can be done.
But how many statues have already been
But that's not what we're doing
We're
here.
trying to put
That's not what
ideas
we're
here
doing.
to be moved. We're not
But
trying
you
to
do realize how
this is a
stupid
situation
you
that's
do.
incorrect.
But right, you do realize how stupid you look being millennials talking about moving a statue. There's not one person that is out of your.
I'm not a millennial.
Okay, you're the oldest one in this group. The rest of them are maybe even.
They're two old men over there right now at the city hall.
They're two old men. So wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold on. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe 10 more over there. And there's 2 old people. There's 2 older people.
That's 2 older people, but this is about the future and people not being afraid.
Okay. Look. I'm gonna,
People are shooting
Okay.
Emmett Till statues, and our universities are protecting them.
But-
Do you think that's not intimidating to people still? No, this is the symbol for that. And I'm sorry that it's Confederacy, that if that's what you're protecting, but we're sick of being bullied. We're not gonna be bullied anymore. We're not.
you know what? Just to get on your page, or just to throw out, even if your argument remotely made sense, when you erase history, you ask for history to repeat itself. So even if this was about slavery,
I absolutely 100% agree with you. I made that same.
But even if-
somebody else out here the other day.
okay, so you want to remove it. So you think this is what it was about? You think that the Civil War was fought over slavery?
I'm not getting into that with you. There are layers.
You're not getting into that with me. But no, I thought you wouldn't back down. I thought you would answer the question.
From this stance.
What's the question?
You
What's the
can't,
answer?
I'm not ignorant. You can't manipulate me into saying something ignorant. I'm just not.
No, y'all have already made yourselves look ignorant.
No, we're quite.
Y'all have already made yourselves look so stupid standing out here. You've got 2 older people, and the rest of you are college age. Don't even know. You don't even know the history of the Civil War.
It doesn't matter. What does
We're
it
just saying
symbolize?
that it's more complicated than slavery and states' rights, but slavery was a part of the reason that the Civil War was fought.
But it was as much a part of the North as it was the South. So I mean,
That
you?
argument does not make sense, because if there was one up north and I lived in that town, I would also go protest that statue.
Okay, so you're a third population. You're not the North. You're not the South. You're just orb just hovering out there.
I suggest taking this protest silent for the moment.
If you wanna take it silent.
No, but I mean, thank you for talking to us.
Hey, look.
We want
You know what?
conversation.
You know what? 3 years ago, I was arrested standing on public property right here where y'all are standing. Okay? I was arrested because I didn't have a permit. I'm a Marine Corps veteran. I fought for our constitutional rights. In fact, I took an oath to support and defend the Constitution. And that's your right, your freedom of speech. Look, you got the same rights as I do. Unfortunately, this town framed me for exercising mine just standing here with the state flag of Mississippi on the sidewalk by myself.
I mean, but it's
Okay?
all about symbols.
So at the end of the day, no, it's not about symbols.
Yes, it is.
That right
This
there
has
was
nothing
not
to do
about
with the
symbols.
Confederacy.
That right there was about our rights as citizens.
I agree. You should
And
always
so
have
no. Okay? No. I say go to a vote and y'all see what the real numbers are.
I mean, that's
Y'all want to put it
that's
to a
what we're
vote?
doing.
I mean, is that something that y'all are after? Or y'all just wanting total decimation to remove it without a vote?
If they allowed a vote, we would have a vote.
If they allowed a vote, don't you think it would probably go somewhat like the Mississippi state flag vote?
We're gonna find out.
Yep, where it was about 65% in favor of the flag.
Long time ago, these millennials can vote now, sir.
Well, you know what?
Have a lovely one.
I feel sorry for America. Oh, I'm worried, I am worried for America. My God. Look at that. Ah, so you must be one of the older ones that they said were over here.
Man, I'm representing the seniors.
Representing the seniors. My question has been, and I came through here just the other day, and I was asking some questions, and they just walked off, started waving the signs again. So here, let me pull over right. So what's your name?
Greg Mitchell.
Greg Mitchell. I'm Matt Reardon.
Dudley.
All right. So why should the statues be moved?
Because I think it's divisive and it doesn't, so a lot of black people don't like it. And it was put up during the Jim Crow era, to intimidate the black race.
But was it put up during the Jim Crow era for that purpose, or was it because of the outcome of the Civil War? Or was it because of the Civil War?
Well, I don't think it's because of the Civil War. Now, of course, a lot of the veterans at that time.
And I'm a veteran.
Say that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Civil War veterans.
Yeah.
The Daughters of the Confederacy, of course, put those up all across the South, and the history of them is obviously just to intimidate the black people. They're right in front of the courthouses, or right in front of the center of town, and you know, they've become a focal point of hate and division.
I mean, how is that not any more of a... I mean, why is it just right here in the center of town a focal point for blacks? I mean, that's, you know, here's my thing, okay. Greg, okay? I'm a Marine Corps veteran. I took an oath to protect and defend our Constitution, uphold it. And the Civil War, people lost their lives fighting for a cause. The Civil War was not fought over slavery. I shouldn't have to you know, just be the one to break that to you. You should know the Civil War was not primarily fought for slavery because the Union, the North, had voluntary blacks fighting for it, just like the Confederacy, the Southern states. Well, it was fought over taxation.
Disagree.
It's a known fact, though. You can disagree, but it's a known fact.
Well,
I mean,
the
it's
Mississippi Declaration of Secession specifically and emphatically said it was to protect slave owners' rights.
Okay, but do you also do you know what Abraham Lincoln, in one of his debates with Stephen Douglas, spoke just jaw-droppingly, just horrible about blacks, advocating for slavery, and that's the president of the northern states.
Well,
so I mean, what's to stop y'all? What's to stop y'all from going and tearing down all statues? You know, the freaking Rushmore.
Yeah, I understand. You know, that was 1865.
Okay.
1907. I don't think
so what's 50 years or 40 years got to do with anything?
Attitudes have changed. The state flag, for example, the Confederate flag, has been hijacked by racist hate groups, and so it's become, you know, just a horrible symbol of division. We're the last state to take it down when it does it, if and when.
Yeah.
It will happen, and that's the same reason. Times have changed.
I mean, when you go moving statues, what do you have to say about damaging the statue and moving it?
There's a way to take them down, and there's a place to put them.
You're talking about things that are 105 years old, over 100 years old. So how can you say for sure?
I see your point, and I know a lot of people agree with you. A lot of people don't, and especially the minorities and the progressives, which I call myself. And it's just a terrible sign of division. It's not going to be an easy thing. But times have just changed.
I'm going to disagree with you on that.
I understand.
Because I mean, you have people.
I got some family members right in your court. I got some in my court.
You got people that lost. You got people that lost their lives fighting for a cause.
Yeah,
like I told them over there. Hey,
what that calls
hey, I say put it to a vote. Isn't that the proper thing to do?
No.
No. You just want to take. You just want to take the.
Well, let me give you an example.
Take over move. Take over move.
If you had put segregated schools to a vote in the 50s and 60s, how do you think that would have turned out?
Why would you compare it? Why would you compare it in any way to now?
Because it's a similar situation. Just the moral vote. A vote is not always right. The majority vote, just because it's a majority vote, doesn't make it right. Because people would have voted to have segregated schools, and maybe you would have liked that still to be the case. But
no,
that's
I got
not right
I got plenty of black. I got plenty of black friends. You know, all lives matter. It's not, you know, it's not just black lives. It's white lives. It's Mexican lives. It's Chinese lives. It's all lives matter. Okay, but I'm sure you're one of the ones that would be holding up the Black Lives Matter signs, right?
I support the Black Lives Matter movement.
It's a terrorist organization.
Really?
Really.
Okay.
They're the ones that are causing. It's that group itself, Antifa. Okay.
It's a good group. The problem is hold on, that
What's the problem?
the problem is, what progress has been made for black people? They're still getting shot.
Okay, they're getting shot by their own. Yes. You look at the stats. White people get shot. So many more white people get shot by police every year. Fact in the history book. In fact, we can Google this fact. Let me get my other cell phone right here. Let me go ahead and fact check you right here on the spot, because I can tell you right now, there are a lot more.
Well,
they get gunned down by.
That's a problem too, probably. Defensive people.
Hey, look. You know, I'm going about it the responsible way. I dealt with injustices myself. 3 years ago, I was standing in front of that statue right there, holding the state flag. Standing in front of that statue. Wasn't near as deep as y'all, but it was just me. Wasn't making any noise. I wasn't causing any disturbance. And I get arrested for being on public property, not having a permit, because I'm a conservative. I had a gun on my hip, and I'm holding the state flag. All of it is I'm constitutionally and legislatively allowed to do, especially being a Marine Corps veteran that signed a blank check to the government for an amount up to and including his life. Okay? So, I mean, my rights as a citizen were slaughtered that day. It led to a vicious...
Felt bad, didn't it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But you know what? What I'm doing right now? I'm not wasting my time standing in front of the sheriff's department, yelling foul and yelling injustice. I'm going and I'm collecting every single bit of evidence in my case right now to vindicate myself. I'm under the gun as far as time. My time is running out. I've got every agency working against me. Okay?
Well, I don't know the details of your case.
It's some bullshit.
I think that's another problem, having open carry gun laws. So, we disagree on that too.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're going to disagree on a lot of things.
Well, here's my thing. I'm pretty sure we can both agree. I mean, you won't hear this. Like when it comes to this side out here, I'll never hear this. I will never hear this. But you have the right to be here. That's your right. You have the right to think how you want to think, even if it's wrong. Okay? Just like I have the right to come and ask questions, to be here myself.
Well, it's good to air the differences. So, hey.
Yeah.
We'll agree to disagree.
Okay.
I vehemently disagree. I know you're strong in your core.
You disagree with what, though?
The morality of it.
The morality of it.
Yeah.
So do you disagree with the fact that, I have the right to feel the way I want to feel, and you have the right to.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't agree with that. Disagree.
And not be demonized for.
We probably won't be good buddies, but you seem like a nice fellow.
Yeah.
So I could probably hang with you. We just have a big difference of opinion.
We have a huge difference of opinion.
I do.
Well, all right, Greg.
Glad to meet you.
Hey, good to meet you. I'm Matt.
All right.
Outlaw.
Glad to meet you.
All right. Hey, look, it's your right, granted through the First Amendment, to feel the way that you feel. Okay, cool. But don't let the way that you feel on a particular matter take away from everybody else by removal. And the Black Lives Matter, okay? The sign. I'll tell you this. Black Lives Matter. I give you that. Black Lives Matter. But so do white lives. So do Mexican lives. So do Chinese lives, even though the coronavirus, I almost said the China virus came out of there. Look, the fact of the matter is, all lives matter. And I know that somebody's going to get on here. They're going to say, this is about. It's about the injustice done No. Injustice happens no matter what your skin color is. You know, I don't even know what the number is. There's way more white people that are gunned down by the police every year than there are black. Fact. But I'm not out there looting, rioting, destroying property. My rights were completely destroyed back in 2017. You don't see me out there destroying property. I'm out there trying to vindicate myself through proof. It's a right way and a wrong way. I've heard people say that I'm too aggressive. Hey, I'm still going about it in a responsible way to make sure that I bring the truth to light. I'm not out here causing anybody any problems, except for the ones that are responsible and ultimately the real criminals that are part of a public corruption scandal. Go to www.ridingwiththeoutlaw.com. I'm publishing more and more public documents daily. Just published another 2 just 2 days ago. And I got a lot more I'm going to publish today. I'm trying to get a calendar up. I'm about to show the sequence of events. Let you in on a little secret. Follow along with me.
It's outlaw country and you're riding with the outlaw.